Let us talk to another young stud who fights at 135 pounds, but just in a different combat sport. That sport, of course, boxing on, when was it? 2 Saturdays ago, whatever date that was, 2 Saturdays ago in Riyadh, the ring card over there in Riyadh, which was a star-studded affair. No doubt about it. The best fight on that card by far, it wasn't even close, was the Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes fight. And Mason has been fighting for Top Rank for the last couple of years, and they've been really pushing him. And here he is getting this opportunity to fight for the vacant WBO lightweight title, and he knocked it out of the park. It was a tremendous performance. His city, Cleveland behind him, the Browns behind him, everyone behind him, and now all of a sudden it appears as though we have a new star on our hands as far as American boxing is concerned, and as of right this moment, he is the youngest active champion in the great. Abdullah, how are you, my man?
Ariel, what's going on? How's everything?
It's going great. I appreciate you coming on. Great to meet you. Congratulations on winning that title right over there. It's looking very good. How's life been since you won it?
Cricket, man. I think it's a little cricket on here.
I think it looks good. I think it looks nice.
That's good?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
How's life been since you won that belt?
Man, it's been well, man. It's been a lot of congratulations, a lot of support, and everybody's seeing it. Me as the youngest world champion in boxing, everybody's looking forward to what's coming next.
So when you got into all of this many moons ago, did you think at 20 years old, did you think at this age, so young in the game, did you think that you would have a belt of this stature at this point?
Yeah, I felt like I would definitely have been prepared for a title at this point, and it's been proven that it's been able to be done. So I knew it was something that was going to be able to be accomplished, and we're here now. So we looking forward to what comes next.
This was obviously a huge card, a huge opportunity for you, a big stage, but it was your first time fighting outside of North America as a pro, right? You had fought in Canada, mainly in the United States. You go all the way to freaking Saudi Arabia, not exactly like a hop, skip, and a jump away. What was the experience like for you?
It was different, but I felt like the support was still there. We were locked in until the fight, and the main difference was fighting at 2 a.m., being on Saudi time. I fought at 2 a.m. on their time, so I had to make the times match up. But besides that, everything was cool. The environment was solid. The people were solid. It was definitely support. And everybody was showing hospitality. Everybody from Saudi, all the teams was there supporting. So it was great,
I was wondering about that, especially for the American fighters. Did you just stay on American time zone? Because essentially you were fighting like on a more normal time. In America, I think your fight was at like 5, 6 o'clock local time on the East Coast, as opposed to 2 a.m. over there. So did you just try to stay on American time zone?
Yeah. We tried to stay on American time zone. It was a little tough at first, but we got used to it, and we got the job done. Came home with the title, so it's all good.
Sam was super game though. Tough opponent, gritty guy. What did you think of him as far as like just his ability to stand there and take the punishment that you were dishing out?
He came as expected. I definitely had to put some on him a little more than he withstood a little more than I thought he would be able to. But I was prepared for that. Our training camp, allowed for me to be able to have that type of fight. That was my first fight going past 6 rounds, and we, went in there with arguably the toughest guy in the division. I don't think nobody else would have went in there and fought him that way. And for me to come out on top fighting that type of fight and beating him at his own game, it was definitely something I had to be prepared for, but we knew that he would be coming like that. We knew that he'd be strong like that, before fight night or just leading up to the fight in the training camp. My father would let me know the game plan, but then he'll also add on at the end, you may have to hurt this guy, man. You may really have to sit there and hurt this guy, and that's what it ended up being.
Yeah, that is wild. You went from 6 rounds to 12 rounds. As far as the cardio, I mean, obviously you trained for this and you were well prepared, but just like being in there in the actual fight, those 6 extra rounds, how did you feel by the end?
I feel good. I feel ready, man. I was prepared to go more if I had to. Like towards the last 2 rounds, I feel like I started turning up a little bit more, just to solidify that win. And I knew I had more in the tank. I was able to go more rounds if I had to go more rounds.
There's a little bit of irony, I think, that you are the holder of that particular belt, because that was Keyshawn Davis's belt, right? Until he missed weight and then was stripped. And it felt like there was a bit of a rivalry brewing between you two. How do you feel about what's happened to Keyshawn over the last few months? Because not that long ago, I feel like we were talking about him in the same exact spot that you're in now, and now you've since replaced him after everything that he's been through.
I feel like it's just boxing. That's boxing. You got to be prepared for whatever is to come. And, me sitting here lets you know that I was prepared to grab this title after whatever happened on his end of things. So, that was definitely a moment of time. We thought that would have been, the next route to take. We was right there in line while he still had the title. But whatever happened, we was prepared for it. This was the route that we had to take. And, I came out on top.
Do you feel like perhaps you've learned lessons from how he dealt with things? Like, did you look at him and say, okay, I can't do the things that he did. He did a few things. He made a few missteps, and I can't do that because now I'm in the exact same position.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, but you got to be on your A game all around. And I feel like that was just a reminder. You can't look at only the good and everything. You got to look at the bad in it, or what could be as well, and just keep your eyes open for every outcome. And that was one of the outcomes. You definitely want to be on top of that.
Do you think he fights again?
Yeah, for sure. I believe so.
Do you want to still fight him?
Anybody who comes next, I'm prepared to face him. So if that was next, I'd be prepared for it. But right now we the lightweight world champion, and we looking forward to whatever comes next.
What is your feeling on the state of Top Rank at the moment? No fight cards in the past 5 months, and obviously you're still a part of Top Rank, and I know that Brian Norman was on that card as well, but we're looking for some stability, a new TV home. They don't have one yet post ESPN. How do you feel about the state of things right now?
Top Rank is they've been doing a job, and they've been working even without the TV deal. They've been making sure they fighters still get fights. And me being where I'm at, the position I'm at right now, I'm basically like the head of Top Rank. So it's time for me to carry the brand and keep Top Rank on the map.
Are you getting any sort of intel as far, okay, like we're going to have a consistent home so that you don't have to fight on other people's cards, that you can fight and headline your own Top Rank cards?
Yeah, everything is being put together right now. We're looking forward to the next route, but me winning this world title is the door opener for whatever's to come. There's definitely big talks. Me possibly having a world title home fight, or whatever's next. But there's definitely different routes to take.
Okay, so that would be amazing. They're talking about a potential fight in Cleveland for you.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. I went to a fight in Cleveland when Stipe Miocic, you know him, the heavyweight champion?
I know Stipe.
You know him personally?
I've met him. I think I've met him one time.
Yeah.
I don't really know him personally, but yeah, I'm hip to him.
2016, he was the heavyweight champion of the UFC, and he finally got a chance to fight in the 216 at the Q, right?
I'm not sure. Probably. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the place went crazy for him, and it was huge for him because I feel like it made him come across as a superstar to everyone at home. And not saying necessarily that you need that, but I think it would be great for you to get that type of, hometown treatment.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland been supporting me ever since the beginning. Ever since I started boxing, Cleveland has, they've been pushing me. They've been, beside me, helping me. Me and my brothers, before we even started officially boxing, we were hustling our father's his products out his fragrance store, and hustling the incense on the street, the oils and stuff like that, the natural body products, and they would just support that way. And once we actually got into the amateur boxing, they would use that to support us, to help us get to the nationals and stuff like that. So with me grabbing this world title, I feel like I'm another person to help carry Cleveland now, in a sports aspect. They have a world champion in a boxing arena. So I feel like that's even more reason for them to support and push me forward. And it'd be even great for me to have that support. I feel grateful for it. But I can't wait to have that world title fight at home. We've been talking about it for a few years. And I feel like next year might be the time for that to finally come to happen.
Who would be the perfect opponent for that world title fight at home?
Man, I really don't know. This is just the door opener right here. So whoever it is, I'm pretty sure, my people will be pleased with it just as well as I will be pleased with it.
Are you hoping to unify?
Maybe. maybe. There's a lot of different routes we could take, but this world title is the door opener to whatever that is. But first things first is whatever plans we put out there. I feel like everything else is gonna be rolling after that. So we might it may be Cleveland, it may not be Cleveland. Possibly unification, possibly not. But like I said, it's a lot of different routes. And I'm gonna be pleased with whatever it is.
Okay. I saw the Browns showing you love before your fight, after your fight, your homecoming. It's got to be great to have Cleveland, behind you. I'm wondering, better fighter repping Cleveland right now in boxing, Abdullah Mason or Jake Paul?
Come on, man. Oh man.
Do you know Jake?
I know him.
What do you think about what he's doing right now?
I mean, I feel like he's doing what he has to do to get where he has to get. And I feel like he's putting his time into it and he's serious about it. So that's really what you need in anything is the dedication, putting the time into it, having the right environment. So as far as he does that, then I feel like that'd make it that much easier than if he wasn't as serious about it.
Sure. Do you think he could beat Anthony Joshua?
Come on, man. I mean, AJ is AJ, man. Yeah. So, I feel like at this stage, AJ might have it, but you never know, man. He could surprise us.
I thought a great fight, and maybe it could still happen down the line, especially for the American fight scene, would be you versus Shakur Stevenson. But then we found out on Monday he's fighting Teofimo Lopez next. A, are you surprised he's moving up to 140? And B, who do you think wins that fight?
I'm not surprised. He's doing what he got to do to get where he got to get, and 140, if that's the next step for him, that's the next step for him. But I feel like Shakur might have that fight, but I feel like it'd be a great fight. There's different ways it could play out, but I'm gonna just tune in like always.
Sure, you're still so young, right? You're 21. Eventually, where do you think you end up? Most guys, they don't stay at the same weight class their entire career, especially if you have success at this weight class at such a young age. You may move up to 40, 47, I don't know, 54. What do you think? How far do you think you can go?
I really don't know. A lot of people compare my frame to Crawford's frame and, our reach and all of that. And he started out at lightweight, and you see what he did. He went up and fought Canelo at 168. And I'm pretty sure you asked him some years ago, he probably wouldn't have seen himself at 168 pounds. But, I feel like it's whatever I want to do. If I want to end up a little higher, then I could train my body to do that. But right now, I'm been pretty disciplined and making it pretty comfortable for myself. So, whatever the next step is, I'm pretty sure, it's going to be the same thing with each weight class. I'm going to just do my best to stay on top.
Who is your dream opponent? Who is someone that Abdullah Mason would love to fight? A dream fight for you?
Dream fight for me? Whoever boxer put in front of me next.
Nah, there's got to be a name. I know there's a name that you think about. I would love to get my hands on that guy. I would love to punch that guy. Who is it? Tank Davis?
It's the door opener. So
who is it?
No. This right here. This title right here is the door opener. This right here. So, whatever name it is, this put me much closer to that name than I've ever been. And right now, there's no specific name. Right now, it's just boxing.
Okay. You mentioned your father, Valiant Mason, right? He has trained you and your brothers, Amir, Adel, Abdur Rahman, Ibrahim, and you. All five of you in boxing.
Yeah. All five was professional.
How old were you when you first started getting into it, when you first started to lace up the gloves? How old were you introduced to the sweet science?
When I first started boxing, I was 9 years old. That's when I was first joined like a boxing gym. Well, my father had put us in a gym that was around the corner from us. But before that time, he's had my older brothers into combat sports. And they were teaching it to me before I started boxing, but I started actually at 9.
Okay. When you say combat sports, stuff outside of boxing too, or always boxing?
Yeah, mixed martial arts.
Oh, for real?
Taekwondo, jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Did you do any of that as well?
Yeah.
What happened? Why'd you veer towards boxing?
Well, we had moved overseas for a while, me and my brothers, and what they had learned from that, the mixed martial arts, they were teaching it to me while we were overseas. And when we had came back from overseas, there was a gym around the corner from us, and we had took a little break from that, from, learning the mixed martial arts and stuff. But there was a gym around the corner from us, a boxing gym from someone my father had knew. And he asked us all who wanted to get into it. And I was the first one to actually say, yeah, I want to go ahead and try that out. Let's see how this is. And then once I got into it, I was like, oh, shoot. this is something this is kind of fun to me. And I was 9 at the time. So that's before I actually saw myself as a professional, like as a world champion. But this was also before my brothers joined in with me.
Okay.
And I was around 9 years old. And once my brothers joined in, that's when I kind of got serious about it. Like, okay, I can see myself taking this far. I was about 12. It was a few years later. I was about 12. And this was when we took it a little further, started taking it serious and got serious about our training. And, you see where we are now as a result of us staying focused since then.
And when you say overseas, where are you talking about?
Egypt and Yemen.
Wow, okay.
Yemen and Egypt, yeah.
That's where you lived?
Yeah. We were in Yemen for a year and in Egypt for a year.
Okay. Which part? My dad is from Egypt.
Oh, for real?
Alexandria. Where did you live?
We was in Cairo for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about 4 or 5. I don't remember if that's the only city we were in, but I know we were in Cairo for a while.
And why'd you go there?
Well, just to experience it. I think my father, he wanted us to experience that. And, us being where we're from, that's something to experience,
Wow. So you don't really have much memories of there?
I got some memories, it's bits and pieces, but
Yeah.
I got some memories.
Have you been back?
No, not back there yet. Not back there yet. The closest thing to that was Saudi for real, I would say.
Are you Muslim?
Yes, I am.
So
Yeah,
to go to Saudi Arabia, obviously predominantly Muslim country, that must have been very impactful and meaningful for you and your family.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely an experience that I'm grateful for, and something I'm looking forward to doing again. Being back there, I love the environment and all that. But first things comes first with this boxing. You go somewhere, you go to get the job done first.
Sure.
Everything else comes next.
Did you try the dates, by the way, over in Saudi? I had the dates over there. They were phenomenal. They were so sweet and juicy and soft.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did.
The food is great over there. I went once for the AJ and Ganu fight, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
Everyone's so nice. Everyone's so pleasant and accommodating. It was a great experience.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. And so, by the way, any chance you transition back to MMA? You go back there and dabble a little bit in mixed martial arts?
Right now, it's just boxing.
Okay.
Man. Right now, we just became a world champion, so
That's
you're
right.
looking forward to the next step in the sport.
Who's your favorite fighter of all time? All time. Number one.
All time number one? I couldn't give you all time number one, but I would, say the greats, man. Back, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. Those are my top guys.
I appreciate you saying that because some of the younger fighters. Muhammad Ali, number one. Okay. You watch his old fights?
Yeah, I watched some of them. I haven't watched them all the way through, but I watched some of the old fights.
Highlights and whatnot?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Are you feeling the love back home? Have they brought you out to a Cavaliers game and shouted you out and paraded you?
Well, see, I just got back. I just got back 2
Okay.
days ago, and since I got back, they've been showing some love, support, a lot of
They
congratulations.
should.
Yeah, for sure. So, we looking forward to the next step. Hopefully I can bring a championship here, though. That's something I'm excited for. Cleveland been supporting, like I said, for a long time. And that'd be great for me to come back and show them support that way.
Yes.
By, bringing a championship, allowing them to see it in person, and hopefully have my brothers on the card and all that as well.
What's your shirt say? Appetite for smoke? Oh, yeah.
And the new.
That's nice. Where can we get that?
Mason Brothers Boxing.shop and the new Abdullah Mason Appetite for Smoke.
I love it.
Mason Brothers Boxing.shop. So all the merch from all the, the rest of my previous fights should be on there as well. Some of the T-shirts are still up and they haven't sold out.
Okay. To me, back before I heard of you, the most famous Abdullah that I ever heard of was Abdullah the Butcher. You know Abdullah the Butcher?
Yeah.
The pro wrestler?
I've heard of him, but yeah.
Legendary pro wrestler. And now I feel you have taken the mantle from Abdullah the Butcher. You're now the most famous Abdullah in the world. So much love and respect to you. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you.
Very fun watching you fight. That was a tremendous fight a couple weekends ago. And I love what you're doing. Love how you fight and what you represent. So keep doing your thing. And I hope you get that fight in Cleveland in the very near future.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Take care.
All right. All the best. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum, my brother.
Salam.
All right. There he is. Abdullah Mason joining us. 21 years young, 21-0, 17 knockouts. If you don't know, now you know. Former NABF, NABO lightweight champion, current WBO lightweight champion. You'll recall we had Keyshawn Davis in studio after he won the belt, and then we had him after he was stripped of the belt. And it's that belt. And in the build-up to that fight, when he was fighting in Virginia, Mason and Keyshawn, they were both on the stage together, and they were jawing at each other. And now here he is. I'd love to know how how Abdullah and both Keyshawn, well, mainly Keyshawn, how he feels about it. I failed to mention one thing to Abdullah. Back in the day, this is how Uncrowned is on the ball. Back in the day, we did our top 25 under 25 stars in combat sports, led by our fearless leader, the great Shaheen Al-Shadi. Top 25 under 25 studs. And what would be the female equivalent of studs? Studettes? What is it? Ladies?
Who's to check?
There's something. There's a female equivalent to stud. What is the female equivalent to stud? Anyway, nothing great here.
What did you find?
In any event, he was number 3 on our list, Abdullah Mason. There it is. I should have said it to him. He would have loved that. Moses Atama, number 1. Roxanne Perez, number 2. Hey, let's see how this list has held up. This was back in March. So Moses has crushed it. What a year for him. He's fighting in January. Roxanne Perez has done great in WWE. Abdullah Mason, clearly doing great. Muhammad Makayev, still scratching and clawing his way back in there. Gabriel Fundora, doing great. Rosas, doing pretty damn good. Pacheco, doing great. He's fighting, I think, next weekend over in Stockton. Javon Evans, solid. Norman, just had the loss, had a big win, and then the loss, jumped up. Nick Wayne, all right, and Joshua Van, 11, fighting for the belt. I'd say that list has held up. And quite frankly, Moses is still 1. Maybe Abdullah would be number 2 on the list. But I'd say that list has held up. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.